This is the best show I've ever been on in my life, by the way.
Thanks, you're very kind.
Whoa.
He is the one, he is the only. It's Constantine Maroulis, everybody.
What's going on, girl?
How's it going, Constantine?
Better now that you're here.
Oh, thank you. So, but before we started, you gave me the really quick debriefing on how to pronounce your name. So I want to know, like, what's the craziest version you've ever heard of Maroulis?
Oh, I think all Greeks go through this. In fact, the Greek prime minister was in DC today, and everyone kept slaughtering his name. So I know his pain very well. Let's see, Marsupialis, Margolis, Mariolis, Morales, of course, so many.
All great, not yours though. So
right, I like Maroulis.
Maroulis. Yeah, hell yeah, I love it. My last name is Riker, so I get a lot of like. Essentially, only crazy Star Trek fans know how to pronounce my last name right. The rest of them are a little off. But anyway, I'm so excited to do this. I know right now you're in the studio, obviously. I didn't want to give anything away, right? Are we allowed to say that? Or
sure, yeah, I think it's probably pretty obvious from I don't know what my background looks like. But yeah, working on some new material. Really excited about putting out some more original music. I put out an original album over the pandemic, Until I'm Wanted. Constantine, and was really happy with that. Our single All About You got a lot of engagement, a lot of play on XM and everything, so that was really fun. I co-wrote that with Sam Hollander, a big songwriter and dear friend. And yeah, if you hear some things in the background, the guys are working on a couple of little things, but we're really excited about this new stuff. I've been acting and working and touring and stuff, but I just wanted to get back to songwriting again, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And I know people in the chat are excited to hear. I'm super excited. Before we delve a little bit more into music, I did have a question for you. I wanted to know what your relationship is like with the wrestling world, because I see you've been doing a lot of stuff in the wrestling industry, whether it's singing the national anthem at events. You were at Alexa Bliss's wedding with some pretty incredible people. Are you a wrestling fan, Constantine?
Well, sure. I mean, I grew up with wrestling big time at the height of the WWF, and the biggest stars in the world were in wrestling at the time, and then they still are, but sort of the height of Hulkamania, and Andre the Giant, and then Ultimate Warrior. And of course I loved wrestling. I remember even the Land of a Thousand Dances, which was like the record that they put out. They had like a hit record, the wrestlers. If you need to look that one up. And I had the record, I had the actual vinyl. That was pretty cool. And for sure, they had for a while a Saturday morning cartoon, and I collected all the figures and all of that stuff. So I probably tapped out, at some point.
I like that you say tapped out. That's such a wrestling term, Constantine.
I tapped out at some point in my teenage years there, but WrestleMania was as big as it gets, and the excitement of those early pay-per-view events was just incredible. So it's amazing to see that it's still, I don't know, has like this life that it keeps growing and figures out ways to stay relevant, and new indie wrestling pops up, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, of course, my dear friends got married, and it was wonderful to be there with them.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So, and I also saw like you had a picture with of course the legendary Chris Jericho, also a musician from the band Fozzy. Have you ever had the opportunity to work with Chris?
We had a very dear friend in common, David Z, amazing musician who lost his life in a tour bus accident, actually. And Jericho's been cool enough to lend his presence to some benefits over the years where we've connected at. And I think I was at the one where he maybe he might have been a little overserved, and when we were remembering a good friend. And I think he ran into some TMZ trouble there after. when you're a big guy like that, people just want to mess with you and like fight you and stuff. So
Right.
I'm actually a pretty big guy. I'm 6'3", but I mean, that guy's like gush. And his band is awesome. A lot of my friends play with him. So my friend um, plays bass, and it's a small circle for sure. Small world.
Definitely. Yeah, that's amazing. I wanted to mention something else that I saw was kind of cool. Are you a Real Housewives super fan? How did this come to be? I saw you associated with this event. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, okay. So I used to date Tinsley, quite seriously many years ago,
Mhm.
and so that was very real. And that was, although people didn't think it was, um, I was doing a big Broadway show at the time, and we really liked each other, and it just sort of ran its course. But we stayed very much in touch over the years, and we've both had some ups and downs. And then she later joined the show, uh, Roni, Real Housewives of New York. And then I had, run into a couple of the gals along the way, socially. So, we're all friends, and I don't know. I guess some rumors, got out there about me and the Housewives, and maybe, some close circles we ran in. So, but I'll leave that to them to tell you any more of the tea. But great ladies, there's something about them. Like, there's a reason why they're television stars, because they're very charismatic. You meet them, they're so fun. And they've had a lot of success even before the show. So, they're really interesting women. They're smart women, and I enjoy a sophisticated, smart gal.
There you go. Yeah, because I saw you being promoted for an event together, I believe.
I think that is okay. I think that's
Hold on,
I
I
think
think
that's
I have the
the
graphic.
Ridge. I think that's the Ridgefield Playhouse being a little cheeky.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
yeah, because okay, so I've played the Playhouse many a time, and I'm gonna be back there with a couple of my bands over the next before the end of the year. And so the Housewives and the husbands of Housewives, everything has become like a touring act now. Whatever will sell tickets, they'll put on tour. So they've sort of created this format that's almost like a town hall, where the girls will like just come out one at a time, and they'll like sit on stools, and someone will moderate. They'll ask questions, maybe they'll show some highlights from the show, and they'll like give a little tea about some behind, and it becomes a nice event. People come, they drink wine, they get, they have a good time. I think that's just the Playhouse being cheeky, saying
Got it.
something like the Housewives are amazing, because they know that their audience, their subscription audience, knows me pretty good. So I think they're just being a little cheeky. But no, I don't plan to be at the event.
Because I was like, it's tomorrow. But I do have to say, wonderful
And
quote.
that's
The
not like
house
the
is
Orange
amazing.
County ones.
I think so. Vicky, yeah, I believe so from
I
my
don't know
digital
them.
watching.
That could be a whole another mess of trouble for me.
Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, another thing I saw, and I love this so much. I saw you posted a picture. It was a bear climbing a telephone pole, was it? Is this something that happens in your hometown or where you're originally from?
Yes, I well, I'm from the city originally, from born in Brooklyn, New York, and we moved to Wyckoff, New Jersey, which is like Upper Bergen County, very affluent, sort of white bread area that I grew up in. And my parents didn't have much, but they wanted just a better life for us and better school system. And fast forward to me having a child, and her having to start school, and me being in the city and deciding, what, it might just be easier to get a house in New Jersey, and why not Wyckoff? A lot of my friends live there now with their families. It's a wonderful community. I've had some success, and I think I could swing it. It's a great community for the kid, amazing schools, and she's truly been thriving. So I've been really lucky, and I think I made the right choice. But yes, you know, there are mountains nearby, all over. The Ramapo Mountains are beautiful, great hiking. The Franklin Lakes Preserve. There's a lot of stuff, and animals have been displaced quite heavily. In fact, a couple of years ago, I saw a full-grown wolf just trotting down a main street. And it was a wolf. It wasn't like a German Shepherd. Everyone's like, it was probably a coyote. I was like, no, bro, this was a wolf. And they get displaced. There's so much development and stuff. But yes, there was some chatter about some black bears being seen, and Franklin Lakes is next door. My friends get bears in their yard sometimes, and this bear must have gotten scared and ran up that telephone pole smack in the middle of town, and it just caused such a stir, as you can imagine. Everyone was like, what's going on, the bear? And it wasn't like a giant brown bear, and I don't think it was a mama, but it was pretty funny and pretty crazy, and the pictures were cute. I got a million calls from like press outlets. They wanted to use the pictures. I didn't own the picture, so I was like, if you want to post them, I don't care. That I don't own the picture. It's not from my phone. But if you want to like repost my Instagram, I don't think anyone's gonna have a problem with it. But they're still telling stories. My mom lives that way, and she was saying that it was on the news again tonight. So.
Well, there's a lot of love for the bear in the chat, and everyone's hoping the bear's doing okay. See, I live in Miami, so like that would be a very interesting day to see a bear climbing. And I don't think I've ever seen a bear. Any tips for if we see a bear in the wilderness, Constantine? What are we supposed to do?
I think you're supposed to, be really still and just be, non-threatening.
Okay.
Or act really big and loud or something like that and try to scare them away, I guess.
Perfect.
But there's some stories. These I think Rutgers engineering students got killed by a bear in West Milford a few years ago. I think that's where it was. Forgive me, West Milfordans, that, if I got it wrong, but a bear can mess you up pretty good if she's scared, and threatened.
Fair enough. Okay, well, to pivot a little bit, Constantine. Okay. Thank you for that. That was a great impression. You're an impressionist. So I wanted to know maybe a first memory where you could recall that you knew that you were a musician. Because from what I read, you studied trumpet in high school. Was that a thing? I did as well. So from one trumpeter to another.
Actually, much younger than that. And I'm the youngest of three. My brother and sister are much older than me. And so, we would watch West Side Story as a family. And that was, some of the only memories I have of the five of us, my parents and my brother and sister, in the house at the same time, because they're much older, like 9 and 11 years older. So they were pretty much out of the house. And by the time I start like, I don't know, kindergarten and or so. And so, yeah, I used to sing along with the movie musicals and with MTV a little later. And it was clear I had a singing voice from very, very young. And then I picked up the trumpet, which is interesting because I think it's a lot like singing. I think it's maybe the one instrument that is like singing in a way. The breath control and it's like you really just kind of have to like see the note and just like hit it. Obviously the valves help, but it's a lot like singing, to me at least. And
yeah, fair. I mean, I loved it. My neighbors hated it. They were not happy when I was practicing at like 6 or 7 in the morning, because that,
that's early. Yeah,
it's a little early. So were you in school bands and stuff like that?
Yeah. Probably picked up the instrument in 3rd or 4th grade. We would have like school shows and singing. I would get all the singing parts, but I really had stage fright for many years. I would get the part, like, teacher would bring you in. We always had great music teachers. So grateful to all awesome teachers growing up. And, you know, they would like kind of bring you in and audition like privately. And I would always like belt the hell out of something and then get the part and then get out there in front of everybody. And I didn't want like the boys to make fun of me because I had a high singing voice. So I think I would freak out and I would like take it down like here.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until probably freshman year of high school where I started like messing around playing in like rock and roll bands, like garage bands, and doing theater, where I started to get a little confidence. There was some girls would show up to our band rehearsal and it was like, whoa, okay, I better step it up. And I just think, you know, life experiences and stage time helped me get confidence. And again, great teachers.
Yeah, that's awesome. And since you did mention West Side Story, I wanted to talk about some of the incredible productions that you got to be part of. Of course, Rock of Ages, holy expletives, so great. Toxic Avenger, and also Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which is like my favorite musical, one of my favorites. Is there another musical production that you would like to be part of? Any dream roles?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to do a lot of shows on Broadway. The Wedding Singer as well. I did Rent
Jekyll and
back in the
Hyde,
day,
yep.
even before American Idol. Hedwig was before American Idol, and those were one was a Broadway tour, one was a regional production, and Jekyll and Hyde was a huge favorite of mine, and Jesus Christ Superstar and all of that. So there's sort of like that genre of like rock opera stuff that I definitely gravitate towards. I love chess and all of that. But you know, for me, it's always about like, I want to surprise people. You know, I actually have a new show in the pipeline called Rock and Roll Man, about the birth of rock and roll, about, you know, Cleveland circa 1950, Alan Freed, the pioneering disc jockey who started playing black artists during segregation on white radio and broke all the rules. And he was, you know, sort of this amazing disruptor. And he coined the phrase rock and roll. He was very close with Little Richard and Chuck Berry, and he led a complicated life. And actually, this is Dan.
Hi. Pay no attention.
From the side. And he's just fun with a cool guitar. And a bass. You gonna play the bass?
No, I got it. I just need a strap. I'm gonna put a little lead in.
All right, strap one on. Wait a second.
Whoa.
And so I'm excited about that. But you know, we've all been through so much the last couple of years. There's quite a backlog of shows trying to get in and find theaters. So we're excited about that. And for me, it's always about like the next thing. It's always about like the next new thing. There's so many young, amazing artists out there and composers and collaborators. So it's always about, my favorite thing is like the next thing. It's like the Tom Brady thing. He's like, which ring is your favorite? He's like, the next one.
Got it.
I love that, you know?
Yeah. Well, now we got Tom Brady in Florida. So just saying. Okay.
All right, my Giants, they beat him twice in the Super Bowl. It's all right.
Hey now. Well, obviously music is something, you know, you were talking about the past couple of years has been difficult for everybody, but music is something that can severely affect our mood. You know, if you're having an off day, you can pop on a song and it can turn your day around. So what's that song for you, whether it's one of your own or an artist that you like to play?
I just put on my own music and just feel better.
Hey, why not? If it does it for you.
I think like James Brown.
Ooh, okay.
You know, some just amazing funk. And Bob Marley.
Ooh, okay.
That'll make you feel good.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Yeah. Those two are definitely major go-tos. The Grateful Dead. I love the Grateful Dead. They make me cry, though. I cry a lot when I listen to the Grateful Dead.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fair. Very fair. So, okay, I'll ask, let's say 2 more questions and we'll go to the game and then we'll let you get back to recording. So how about, what would you say is like the biggest misconception about being like in a rock and roll band? If you think there is one.
Yeah. You know, I've been very lucky, very blessed. I grew up wanting to be an actor on Broadway and and be in a rock band. And I pride myself on being versatile and doing a lot of things. I don't know if I do any one thing very good, but I feel like I do a lot of things pretty good.
Okay.
And for me, it's always about like just the body of work, just the long and always getting to work on cool new projects, just stay consistent. I'm celebrating like 25 years in the business.
Oh
And
yeah.
and if you can believe it, it's been like 17 years since I was on American Idol. So it's crazy. So for me, yeah, just the misconception is that I don't drink or smoke. So I guess there's a misconception that we party and rock out and like just chase girls all night. I definitely had my fun back in the day, but with my kind of voice, where I rely on like my power and clarity and being able to layer in a rock and roll sound as well when I need it. It's important that I get my rest, that my voice is in good health, and you go around making out with different people. You never know. You wake up, you're like, ugh, that's not cute. So.
Fair.
And I have a daughter now. She's 11. She's my life, and
Aw.
you just want to, be a role model and act
Yeah.
nice, be nice.
I'm sure she's so proud of you.
Well, she couldn't be as proud as I am of her. She's an excellent student, a very kind girl. She's had a lot of opportunities to pursue acting and performing arts, and I don't know that it's a passion of hers. She loves sports. She plays travel soccer, tennis, and she does dance and whatnot, but she's a great student. She'll be starting, if you can believe it, 6th grade in September, middle school, which I can't believe. At the middle school I went to.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, okay, one more question before the game. Let's see. Okay, since my mother-in-law asked it in the chat, she wants to know if you're watching the current season of Idol.
Yeah, I pretty much watch every season somewhat. Did I watch like every frame of every episode this year? No, I missed pretty much all the auditions. I kind of tuned in maybe in like the top 15, fast forwarded through some things. It just it's so funny. I've been such a big fan and waved my Idol flag all these years, but there's just so much content out there right now. There's so much to consume and so much that you want to get to that sometimes we're like, all right, fast forward, let's just get to the end result.
Yeah.
But I feel like every year they're like, this is the best year ever, right? They always say that.
Yeah.
But I think my dear friend, Megan Michaels Wolfnick, executive producer of the show. That's right. She's been the EP for many years now. It used to be really like the old white guy sort of regime there for many years, and it's nice to see a young woman, take the show to new heights. Really, I mean, it's not been easy to navigate COVID and going from Fox to ABC. I think they've done a really good job streamlining the show into, just maybe a few weeks rather than, I mean, we were on from like January to June. I mean, it was a juggernaut 3 nights a week for like 6 months. I mean, it just was on all the time. 30 million people. I mean, it was bananas, but no one could sustain that. So yeah, I think like anything, it's an opportunity. Obviously not 30 million people are watching it anymore, but like you'll go on there, you'll build up socials, probably far more than me, but I don't know if they'll become, a Constantine or a Carrie Underwood or whatever. But I think everyone needs an opportunity, and then it's about what you do with it thereafter. I think Hunter Girl is the talented one there this year because she writes her own songs. She's authentic. She's, like a little goofy, and it's cute. And remember, Carrie wasn't the Carrie you saw on the show the other night. Right. I remember she didn't like want to show her arms. You know, she's like, I can't show my arms. And when we were on tour together, I'm like, she came out. I've told this story, but she came out in like her tank top and her jeans, like for a sound check. Like there was like the little bra was sticking out, and I was like, dude, this is it right here. She's like, what? I could never wear this on stage. I'm like, all right, just wait. That's what's up. And you're gonna. And then now, of course, she's just like a global fashion icon and superstar. But you know, she that was an evolution too, you know. So I think Hunter Girl, she's got a cool name. She writes her songs. I think that could be cool. I knew Gabby Barrett was gonna make some noise. They had the name, just had a ring to it. She had like a little story. She had a big voice, and they got her good songs right away. So that's been popping off. And I think Hunter Girl is different, but it could work for her. Yeah. And the kid with like the cool, like lazy eyes. Yeah. I mean, he's cute and he sounds good, but he just kind of stands there on stage, look, you know, and that's cool. But I don't know, like, are we going to that concert? Like, I don't know. There might be a song or two that can come out of him, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. Hunter Girl seems like an artist.
I'm with you. We're going to the Hunter Girl concert. I'm with you totally.
You know what I'm saying? Are you going to the concert? Like, that's the thing. That's why I ask. Like, that's what I ask. Like, are you going to see that show? Does that become an actor? Does it become Rock of Ages? Does it become Jesus Take the Wheel? Does it become some version of that? Kat McPhee has done more like sort of, you know, television type stuff and things like that. So, you know, there's a path for everyone, and it doesn't happen right away. Lauren Elena went right to Nashville, got a deal. She didn't really start popping off until a few years ago, long after she was on the show.
Right.
She's still very young, but she's like a big Nashville artist now. You know?
Killing it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, okay, before we let you go, I got a quick game for you, Constantine. This is a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers. Whatever you pick is correct. So here we go. Let's bring up the graphic. So here's the very first one. Okay. Would you rather perform with the first band that you ever saw live or perform with the first musician whose album you bought?
Oh, gosh. It would have to be the first musicians, the album that I bought. And I think that was Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet.
Oh, okay. Classic. Okay.
If it wasn't that, it was like Poison. It was right in that time period. So and I did get to perform with Poison a few times now because of Rock of Ages, but never with John. The Toxic Avenger, you mentioned that before. David Bryan wrote the music in that from Bon Jovi, but I would love to collaborate with John Bon Jovi. So that would be amazing.
Okay. We'd love to see it. Putting it out there. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather have your musical journey be written into a play by I can't pronounce his last name.
Chris Dorenzo. This is an amazing game already. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Or your musical journey be written into a play by John Cameron Mitchell.
Oh, what are you doing to me? You're
sorry.
Me up real bad. First of all, that picture of Dorenzo, what is going on? I've never seen that picture of him. He is like giving me like GQ, I don't even know, Hamptons, Aspen, like model. Like, what is happening there? I didn't even know it was him at first. Okay, that is a crazy picture, and I kind of want that sweater. John Cameron Mitchell is a genius. So is Chris. Chris was amazing, and in allowing all of us to collaborate on Rock of Ages, offer suggestions, jokes, whatnot. A lot of things stayed in the show. Beautiful thing. That doesn't often happen. That pretty much never happens. John Cameron Mitchell, just an icon. So I would have to say John. Because he came first, only for that reason. Because John came into my life first, and Hedwig was a huge breakthrough for me as a straight male actor, identifying male. To be able to work on that piece and really from the outside in, because of the makeup and, you know, really completely transforming physically, it really allowed me to break through as an actor. Yeah.
Awesome. Great answer. Great answer. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather spend a week living as Mr. Hyde or spend a week living as the Toxic Avenger?
Oh my, in real life?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, Toxie had a really hot girlfriend, even though she was blind. So, and Hyde, you know, he would stalk Lucy, but he never really got to like sleep with her, I don't think. Oh, maybe the one time he did, but that was sort of forcibly, and that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I think Toxie, that would be funny because he's like a Jersey guy, and he has a super hot girlfriend, and ultimately, Toxie is Melvin inside, and he's just a nerd at heart, who wants to save New Jersey.
Okay. Well, we love Toxie. We love it. All right. Good answer. All right. Here's the next one. We got a few more. Oh gosh. Okay. Would you rather go on a journey to a foreign place or be a foreigner on a journey?
I like being the foreigner on a journey.
Okay.
I mean, in a way, they're kind of the same. Go on a journey to a foreign place. I mean, I don't think it changes much for me. Wherever I go, I try to see everything I can, experience everything I can, whether it's in the States or somewhere all over the world. I love to take home little things from all the places I go to, or get something for my kid and learn something about a new culture. And, the people are so different all over the world. Women are very different, like the way they, respond to you. It's funny. So I think, I'm tall and like I probably stand out. I don't just dress necessarily like this, but so I think I don't exactly exude American. Like he's an American kind of guy, which I love being an American, but I think I can blend in wherever I go if I make an effort to. So whatever, I just want to have good experiences.
Okay. Perfect answer. Okay, here's the next one. Ooh, okay, this one's tough. Okay, would you rather do an album of songs but only from the 60s or an album of songs but only from the 80s?
60s. Yeah, 60s. Yeah, because to me, it's always about doing something different. And I feel like I've really done the 80s thing. And even though I love, and especially a lot of those artists they're a little different too. They're not like the typical ones. It's a little small, so I can't see everything. But I see Tom Petty there, and it's hard to see some of the other ones. But, Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, what is that? The Monkees there, the Doors, Hendrix. I mean, wow.
I feel like you would like crush Roy Orbison songs. Like,
well, thank you.
Oh my
I would
gosh.
love that. I mean, he is an incredible. We got to meet his family when I was on Idol, and he had recently passed, I believe. And that was a very cool experience. And yeah, the 60s, I mean, everything, the birth of like psychedelic, creativity and all of that. Very cool. So I'm into like the West Coast, even though I'm like a New Jersey guy, I always loved like that West Coast kind of 60s, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, all of that.
Awesome. All right, we got two more. So would you rather be an honorary member of Steel Panther or be an honorary member of NSYNC?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I have been seeing Steel Panther for honestly like 20 years. They used to be at the Viper Room. It used to be called Metal School. It was like on Monday nights, and then it evolved, and then it went to like Roxy, then it went to the Key Club, and then they started calling themselves Steel Panther and writing their own songs. They've pulled me on stage so many times, like post American Idol, and I actually, when I was on tour with Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, from the original Appetite for Destruction, we toured Australia together, and we met up with Steel Panther. I performed with Steel Panther, and they came and jammed with us, and we partied very crazy. And that was like the last of my crazy days, basically, like some 4 years ago with them, and I've changed my evil ways since then. But so I've done the Steel Panther thing, so definitely in sync, because Joey and Lance are dear friends, Chris as well. I don't know Justin. I know his wife. I worked with his wife. And I don't know JC. And they're just awesome. You know, I mean, those songs were great, and I can't really dance like that. So, and you know, they would like dance me into like really good shape. I'd be like, what's up? Bye, bye, bye. You know, and it's funny. They're all tenors. Like, so I don't know how they work it out. But they were all at the wedding, basically. Like 3/5 of NSYNC were at Ryan and Lexi's wedding, which was fun.
I love that. Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay.
They should tour even without JT. Like, you know, they should just tour. I don't know.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. But all right, here's the final one. Would you rather karaoke the song "Shallow" with Aaron Judge, or would you rather karaoke "Islands in the Stream" with Tom Brady?
This is the best show I've ever been on in my life. By the way.
Thanks. You're very kind.
Whoa. Oh man. Oh, you're doing so many things to me. Okay, so Aaron Judge, wow. I am a diehard Yankee fan. It's just in my blood, just pinstripes in my blood. But you know, I went to school in Boston, and when Tom Brady won the first one with the Patriots, not to take a melancholy turn, but 9/11 had happened that September. And I lost my first cousin in the World Trade Center, and everything was just so crazy. I was finishing up drama school. I'm like, what am I doing? And my Giants were out of it, and the Yankees ended up losing in the World Series. So we all got behind Tom Brady and the Patriots. We kind of fair weather fanned them, but I always, as an AFC team, I always liked the Patriots. Bill Parcells coached there. He was a Giant legend. A lot of ex-Giants went to play for him. So I love Tom Brady, and we're like kind of the same age, by the way. So I think I'd have to choose Tom Brady. I mean, because that would just be insane. And I've met him, and that was an awesome experience. And I'll spare you the story, but yeah, he's a huge guy. You know, you don't realize how big Tom Brady is, and obviously Aaron Judge is a monster. I mean, but he's still young. I'll run into him eventually. Tom Brady.
Yeah, fair. Now,
Islands in the stream. Daddy. I mean, can he do the harmonies? I don't know if he can harmonize with me.
I don't know, but who's the Dolly? Who's the Kenny Rogers? That you got to work that out too.
I would probably have to do the Dolly part. So
okay, very fair, very fair. Well, before we relinquish you back to the studio to keep working on your music, I know you have a couple shows coming up. Anything that you want to plug before we wrap it up?
Sure. You know, I've been touring with Foreigner's Journey. It's this huge classic rock experience, sort of an extension of Rock of Ages, if you will. And it's been really taking off. We're playing tons of shows this summer. ConstantineMaroulis.com, ForeignersJourney.com. We have tons of shows in New England, throughout the East Coast. We're adding more. I have, some solo things coming up as well, but follow me on the socials at Constantine Maroulis on Instagram. And I'm always doing fun stuff where we have some other acting projects in the works and voiceover animation stuff. And you'll hear about all of that. And, I'm just hoping everyone's enjoying their lives and being good to each other and being happy. I mean, we've been through so much these last couple of years. So go out and see a show, support your local community theater, your high school artists, go to a Broadway show. You can get Broadway tickets. You can get them, go do a raffle or do TKTS, find a single seat, go enjoy that experience. The artists are amazing on Broadway, even if it's a show that you've never heard of before, just, go for it and come see me, or, just get out of the house and rock and roll.
Hell yeah. Well, before I let you go, I'm going to go over our upcoming guests that we have coming up on Talkulture for the rest of the month and going into June. So next week, we have a wrestler, actually, Constantine. It's Drama King Matt we have next week. The week after, we have Steve Gonsalves from Ghost Nation and Ghost Hunters. The week after that, we have Jared Reddick from Bowling for Soup. We also have Nicholas Wheeler from All American Rejects. We have actor Andy McPhee. We have John Elefante. We have Jonah Ray from Mystery Science Theater. Jenny Tolman. So many more. Constantine, you are such a delight. We cannot wait to hear your new music that you're going to give to the world. Thank you so much again.
And check out my current stuff on Spotify. It's all there. And say hi to Jared for me. He's great. We hung at the wedding, and I hope to see you, kid, in person real soon as well. Thank you for your support, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, until we meet again, Constantine Maroulis, I'm pronouncing that right, I believe. I'll see you guys real soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, and you. Bye.
Bye.